The heart is not a GPS with every turn mapped out. It is a compass, a living, breathing instrument that always points toward your truest direction. But to follow it, you must be willing to trust it more than the voices outside of you. In our world, it is far too easy to hand over our navigation to other people's expectations, cultural norms, and fear of what might happen if we choose differently. Think about how often you've ignored a gut feeling because logic said otherwise, only to regret it later. The heart's language is subtle, felt beneath the noise. It does not shout, but instead nudges, expands, or contracts, depending on whether you are moving toward truth or away from it. If you want to trust it, you must create moments where you can hear it. That means turning down the volume on everything else, even for just a few breaths at a time. You can start small. Step outside for 2 minutes without your phone. Sit in silence before answering a message that stirs emotion. In those pauses, you are tuning the compass. Over time, you will recognize the difference between the voice of fear and the pull of truth. And when you follow that pull, you will begin to feel an ease in your body, a confirmation that you are, at last, on your way. Your heart already knows where to take you, but the signal is often buried beneath a mountain of noise. This noise comes in many forms: relentless busyness, the pressure to be everything for everyone, the habit of rushing through your own life as though it were an obstacle course. And here is the truth: the heart cannot compete with chaos. It speaks in the quiet, and that means you must intentionally reclaim your pace. Slowing down does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means refusing to let the speed of the world dictate the speed of your soul. Walking meditation is a powerful way to do this. With each step, you breathe deeply. Notice the ground beneath your feet and allow your inner world to catch up with your outer movement. Over time, your nervous system learns a new rhythm, one that makes space for insight to emerge naturally. The cultural pace is designed to keep you from hearing yourself. But when you reclaim time, when you choose deep time instead of fragmented time, you send a signal to your heart that it is safe to speak. That is when the whisper becomes clear and the path begins to form in front of you. The heart does not speak in words alone. It speaks through sensation, presence, and above all, compassion. Compassion is not weakness. It is the most powerful form of guidance you can receive, because it teaches you to see yourself and others through the lens of truth rather than judgment. When you feel a lightness in your chest, that is the heart's way of saying yes. When you feel tightness or heaviness, that is the heart's way of saying no. These sensations are part of the heart's native language. Learning to read them is like learning to read a map. Once you can interpret the signals, you know exactly when you are on course. Begin by practicing compassion for yourself before you extend it to others. Pause before reacting to criticism. Offer yourself kindness when you feel you have failed. In this way, compassion becomes a compass setting, helping you align with what is true and kind. And the more you practice, the more naturally you will move toward choices that nourish rather than deplete you. Sometimes the path is blocked not by uncertainty, but by the clutter you carry. This clutter can be mental, the endless to-do lists and unfinished conversations you replay in your head. It can be physical, a workspace overflowing with things that weigh you down. It can be emotional, obligations you agreed to out of guilt rather than desire. Clearing the path requires courage. It means saying no without apology. It means removing commitments that do not serve you. It means acknowledging when burnout has set in and treating it not as failure, but as an invitation to rebuild in a way that honors your limits. Burnout is often the turning point. When you are depleted, you are forced to see what truly matters because everything else falls away. Use that moment to create a life that supports you rather than drains you. Let your boundaries become the architecture of your freedom. When you have learned to hear your heart and clear your path, the next step is to sustain it. Equanimity is the art of moving steadily forward without being pulled off course by urgency, panic, or distraction. It is knowing that life will continue to present uncertainty and choosing to meet it with steady breath and quiet strength. Daily listening is essential. This can be as simple as placing a hand on your chest each morning and asking, "What is true for me today?" You may not always hear a loud answer, but over time you will feel a deeper trust in your own inner compass. And then comes the invitation to run in the heart's direction, not because the entire path is visible, but because you know it is yours. You are not chasing certainty, you are choosing alignment. And in doing so, you will find that the journey itself becomes the destination.